Back here with another gear profile. It's another guitar, and I promise eventually I'll get to some other gear that I own. I know the past couple of videos I've just been doing guitars, but I definitely wanted to do this guitar next. It is the Fender Telecaster Modern Player Series. You can get a good shot of that right here. Yeah, nice little, it's got the Telecaster body, it's got an F-hole, I don't know what kind of plate you call that. Nice looking tone knobs, P90 pickups, maple fretboard with the traditional Fender Telecaster headstock. So the story behind this guitar, bought it off of a guy on Craigslist. Oops, apologize for that. That's my my amp. I'm playing it through the SG systems. You can see a previous video on that. But anyway, I bought this guitar off of a guy on Craigslist. He was strapped cashed. He needed to get back down to Seattle for work, and he needed some money. And he posted this on Craigslist. I saw it. He, wanted $300 for it, and I said, why not? So I went over, met up with him, and purchased it from him, and he seemed pretty happy to let it go so he could get back down to Seattle. Anyway, it's a really interesting guitar. Now I should caveat this video to say that I've actually never played a real a Telecaster before, so I don't really have a very good comparison. But what I can tell you, doing my own research on this, the guitar itself retails for about $500 brand new. You can look it up on Fender Telecaster, or I'm sorry, on the Fender website, and it will, if you Google the Modern Player Series, it's about a $500 guitar. So I was able to get the deal with it, it being $300 from a private party. It's kind of an interesting concept that Fender has come up with. I think these things came out in the early part of this decade, around 2010, and I think the whole idea behind it was to kind of refresh the Telecaster model, as well as with different pickups, different tone knobs. It's apparent that they were trying to market to kind of a new series of guitar player, probably millennials like myself, I guess. I don't know. But needless to say, it's a pretty quality guitar. However, as many of you are probably aware of, some of these big guitar companies that they're not doing so hot. Was only a couple weeks ago that it was big news that Gibson filed for bankruptcy, and based off of that, if I was Fender, I would also be highly concerned. I've got theories about that, probably content for another video. Needless to say, this guitar has a dirty little secret, and the dirty little secret is this. Let me show it to you. I'm gonna change here. If you look on that headstock, you can tell that it was made in China. If you're a diehard guitar player, there's just something about seeing that made in China sticker, that made in China. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not made in China. It's crafted in China. My bad. Needless to say, it kind of cheapens the feel of the guitar. Now, that's not to say it's not a quality instrument. It is a quality instrument. What I feel this instrument would be best for is, let's say, it's hard to say. I mean, $500 is a lot of money for a lot of people. So if you have a kid or a teenager that has an interest in playing guitar, I feel there's nothing worse than getting them a piece of crap to learn on, because that's not going to inspire them at all. But understanding as a parent that you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on a guitar that's just going to end up in the closet collecting dust, and then maybe one day they'll pick it up, or meanwhile you're out so much money. $500 is, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty reasonable. It's kind of that mid-level player, you know. I think if I was a parent, I would consider buying a guitar like this for a teenager, or if I was, you know, in my early 20s, just trying to upgrade my arsenal out of the beginner guitars, you know, the $100, $200 level range. This would be a really good fit to kind of start upgrading, you know. Start in the boys department, work your way up into the men's department, if you will, or girls department into the women's department. Anyway, it's not a bad instrument. Don't get me wrong. It's a very high quality guitar. I love the P90 pickups. They're some of my favorite pickups. A little different from the single coil, I believe, is what regular Telecasters have. My biggest challenge is something about this guitar that I've never really been able to personally mold to. Maybe it's just because I have so many guitars that I need to play it more and just get to know it and fight it and wrangle it. I have gigged with it and it does very well. I'm not really a Telecaster player. I don't really play that you know, chicken picking country lead guitar. I'm not that good. So I'm not a true Telecaster player. But anyway, it's a quality guitar. The dirty little secret is that it's crafted in China. It's not Mexican made, which I think is, I like Mexican made Fenders. I think those are cool. I have a Mexican made Strat. It's pretty cool. Maybe another video on that one. Or, you know, you can spend as much money as you want on guitars, and I understand that anything that you're gonna buy American made is gonna be pretty expensive, but anyway, like I said, this isn't a bad guitar. It's definitely, you know, targeted towards a new generation of player, and check it out. There's tons of videos out there on YouTube about it if you're thinking about getting one or of another modern player series style. And yeah, anyway, check it out.